What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How is everyone doing today? I hope you're having an amazing, awesome day. Your boy back in the reptile room with another video with you guys. As you can see from the video, we're upgrading today. We're going to be taking some enclosures, upgrading some animals into bigger enclosures, while at the same time upgrading enclosures in the fact of adding more detail, design, more kind of enrichment, or kind of like a exercise to some of the animals. So we're going to be upgrading some enclosures. We're going to be having some fun. We're going to have to be catching and moving some animals, which is going to be interesting. More specifically, one individual animal I'm going to have to sit here and catch and move, which is of course Toothless, and we all know that's going to be fun and interesting, who is my black dragon. So we're going to see how that's going to go, but we're going to be upgrading him into this 40-gallon enclosure that Ghost used to be in before I upgraded him. Of course, I need to change out the bedding and that, deep clean it a little bit with some paper towels, while all at the same time we are also doing a bedding change on Turbo, my mangrove monitor. And so temporary, that's her temporary-ish enclosure in the fact of where it's located. I am planning on upgrading her to where it's elevated off the ground, and later on she's going to be getting a wider, bigger enclosure. But that's just temporary for right now. But we got some bedding changes. We're going to add bedding finally into Mystique's enclosure and into the Cribos, while at the same time adding lighting for Ghost, so we can finally see Ghost without having to take him out, and the fact that he's not just sitting there in the closure in the dark. Even though, of course, him being a snake, it doesn't bother him. Still, just makes him more visually pleasing for you guys, and just me in general, and just everybody who comes into the reptile room. So we're going to have some fun getting enclosures set up, setting up some new enclosures, I should say. So let's just have fun and get straight into the video. So first things first, I'm going to set up Toothless's enclosure. Toothless, my black dragon that's in that temporary setup enclosure right there that you see, he's my number one priority in this video on upgrading currently. So first things first, before I upgrade him into this new enclosure, as you guys can see, it needs to get cleaned. It is old, it has shed, urates. I just haven't gotten a chance to sit there and deep clean it, but we're doing it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, bring the trash can over, dump that out, get it cleaned out, take some baby wipes, disinfect it, all of that good stuff. Then we'll get to the process of being able to set it up and get it nice and ready for Toothless. So let's just get right into the process of cleaning it out. Now that I am done deep cleaning the living crap out of this enclosure, as you can see, I wiped down the glass on the doors. Don't mind that, literally just those tiny little dirt spots. I'm gonna get those later, I promise. But I cleaned the whole entire front. As you can see, I dumped out all of the bedding, which is all in here. Thank God for baby wipes. I absolutely love baby wipes, because now this enclosure is nice, clean. It's disinfected without having to sit there and worry about using chemicals and stuff that could hurt and harm Toothless. The enclosure is fully nice and deep. Wow, I can't talk. Deep cleaned and scrubbed. All the dirt, all that's off. All the water from me misting Ghost and that dried up onto the little sides of the glass and the back is all wiped down. So the enclosure looks finally nice and beautiful, to where I can start adding Toothless's bedding to it, which is the forest floor bedding. And I can start adding his hides and his stuff and his water dish and that, to have it looking like an actual setup. But I gotta move Ivory's enclosure real quick, because Ivory's shelf that his enclosure's on is blocking right where I'm gonna put Toothless's heat bulb, which is where he will be basking at. So your boy has to move Ivory's enclosure now, which I'll just for now put over where Toothless is at, because I am gonna be ordering another enclosure, one of these, to stack on top, so that Ivory has a nice little upgrade to himself, where these enclosures are about 90 to 120 gallons size-wise, and because of that, it would be perfect size for Ivory. So now I gotta move Ivory's enclosure so I can start setting up Toothless's. Okay, so I might have lied a little bit. I'm not gonna move Ivory's enclosure first. I am going to set up Toothless's enclosure, move him in there first, and then take his old enclosure once he's out of it off, put Ivory there, then I can add his heat bulbs and stuff. So nothing me talking and let's just get into the fun part of setting up Toothless's upgrade. All right, so now we finally got Toothless's bedding all set up in here. I took the forest floor bedding, which is great at holding humidity for when I missed his enclosure down. Same exact type of bedding that I use with Ivory, same as our box and Ghost, and same as Turbos, and as not Ivory, as Pickles, my blue tongue, and even the same with my Sulcata over there. My God, Torterra. Wow, I'm brain farting on all of my animals' names today. Shit, I'm not a good pet owner. But fast forward to that same bedding that I use for all of my animals that I have currently. It's this forest floor. I absolutely love the bedding. It's amazing. It holds everything perfectly. I love it in the fact that it holds humidity perfectly. It clamps together in the fact that when animals move around and that, it doesn't sit there and push like dirt and stuff into the air, making the whole entire room and the enclosure and stuff dirty and all of that. It just saves a lot of time, and it's definitely a lot of fun, and the fact of a lot easier to change and fun for the animal, honestly, enriching to the animal to help get them to kind of push them to want to dig and stuff, giving them exercise and all of that, which is what we want here. So now we have Toothless's bedding set up. I want to start putting his water dish in there. I want to add his old hide in there, and then I want to start setting up a couple new hides and stuff that I got for him, so it's kind of like a little mini playground in his enclosure. So let's get to the fun part and start decorating his enclosure. All right, so now we're on to the fun part, which is setting up Toothless's enclosure. So first things first, I already have his hide, the black hide that you guys saw on the his previous or his quarantine enclosure in there. I rinsed it off so it's nice and clean. I'm gonna add Toothless's water dish in here with some nice fresh H2O. I just use spring water from Publix specifically because it's already filtered and it's healthy for them. I don't have to worry about any chemicals or anything in there, stuff like that. So now that that's in there, now with Asian water monitors, of course, like again in their name, water monitor, they are semi-aquatic. They are gonna need big water bowls specifically because they love to swim. That is basically their main thing that they do. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to push Toothless's water dish up front here, because in my mind what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this hammock set up in the corner, and once his basking heat bulb is up here, this is going to be his basking spot. We're going to have his water dish here. On the other side is going to be his hide to cool off basically, and I'm going to have in between, I'm going to fill this negative space with branches. I have a really cool, nice log hide that I just went to the reptile store to get for him. All of it's disinfected, so it's going to have a lot of enrichment, exercise him, go around, play around, all sorts. Now, I want you guys to understand this, because I know I have some people commenting, well, it's a monitor, it needs enrichment, and, you know, that's really sad for an enclosure, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that to be hating, I'm not saying that to be rude or talking back or trying to start an argument with anybody. But I want you guys to understand that, one, that is temporary enclosure. He's been in that for no longer than 2 weeks, just to make sure that he doesn't have anything, he's not sick or anything, and I know that he's pooping and he's healthy. Second thing, I am going to get to his enclosure setup, and the fact is that he is going to be a big lizard that is going to be constantly growing. I'm going to be just about constantly upgrading him, having stuff in his enclosure for enrichment. And at the same time, you gotta realize some of these animals that are in here that you might see have a smaller or more basic enclosure, that's because they are out of their enclosure more than they are in their enclosure. They get socialized, they get desensitized, used to being handled and interacted with, to the point where I basically treat them like dogs. And the fact that they get taken out, they get to free roam. I barricade part of the house so that they can free roam and exercise, basically look around, adventure around. So some enclosures that you see that may be basic, trust me, don't base it off of the exact look of it, base it off of the purpose. Literally, some of these enclosures that these animals are in is just for them to be at when they are sleeping, somewhere to be in when they sleep, so I don't have to worry about them. Other than that, or if I'm gone somewhere at work. Other than that, they are free roaming. I mean, I literally have 4 different animals free roaming right now as I make this video. That being said, I'm not trying to start any hate. I'm not trying to start any arguments. None of that. I thank you guys for sharing your opinions and what you think, but I just want you to put into factor that just what you see visually off of a video or what I show you doesn't necessarily mean that that is exactly what's going on. It's patience. It's just how it is. That's how it is when having animals, especially ones that are going to get freaking big. With that being said, get back to decorating and having fun with this enclosure. So over here, I have a couple little logs and stuff that I'm adding to here. Right now, this is just a trial, not a trial and error, but really just a test to see how he does with this. How do I want it set up? How do I want it to look, be presented? How does he like it? Really is the main purpose, or really the most important thing is how does Toothless like this? I think he'll like it a lot. I have these 3 little things in here just for now, just to see how it looks. Now my goal is I kind of want to get this propped up for him. So I'm going to put this little tree log right here. I'm going to dig it right in with the bedding, because what I kind of want to do with his enclosure is I want to kind of have it propped like this so that he can climb up to his hammock. So initially, I know it's going to look really bland. It's going to look really boring. But right now, this is just a temporary little test run to see how his enclosure is going to get set up. I'm contemplating whether or not I want to take the branch out of Pickle's enclosure. Contemplating about that. Honestly, I'm going to put the hammock in first. I'm going to scrap this out real quick. Put the hammock in first and then go by the size off of that. So, put hammock in. As you can see, it's freaking large hammock, which I'm not necessarily one to complain. This was my bearded dragon's old hammock before I had to remove it. Yeah, this won't even stick. Oh, shit, maybe? Yeah, this hammock's just way too big. Again, but yeah, we're just not gonna want to stick or cooperate, aren't we? And just set it right in here. You mother lover, you just want to test me. Okay, I think it will stay. Maybe. But with that being said, what I'm gonna do is just kind of put a little decor stuff in here, kind of make the enclosure look nice, give them something to go through. Where do I want to even put this? It's tiny, I know, but like again, this is just a test run of what he likes, what kind of interests him. I was going to get more stuff for him, but the stuff I saw at the pet store wasn't really, not pet store, reptile store. Yes, there's a difference. Just didn't really have much variety that I liked in that. So with that being said, I have this set up. Now that this is set up, I have his hide, some little stuff to move on to, a hammock, water dish, bedding, all that. Now it's time for what you guys want to see, which is me catching Toothless, the little freaking gremlin. So, let's get to the fun part. So, now that we're getting into him being upgraded, like again, I'm going to be moving Toothless's enclosure and put Ivory there until I get Ivory the new reptile habitat, the solid black one that Ghost and Arbok in, which I'm actually going to be ordering after this video. So, he is flighty. I have been working on handling him, mainly in the fact by enticing him with food and just socializing him with me and understanding that I feed him, I take care of him. He has nothing to worry about with me. So, as you can see, he freaks out. But, hi. Relax. Hi. Oh, I know. Hi. It's okay. It just takes time. Usually I just leave him alone. Hi, I know. Because I don't want to stress him out. but it just takes time. He will tire himself out, I will notice that. If I just put my hand here though for a second, he'll calm down, he'll understand that I'm not gonna hurt him. I realized the trick too, is that this is how smart monitor lizards are. I swear to God they know. If I look away and I don't make eye contact with him, like if you guys notice with the camera right now, he calmed down. Second I look away. So if I just relax, and I swear to God he knows. They definitely do. They're ridiculously smart and intelligent animals. So as you can see, he just calms down. As you can see, I'm actually petting him. I'm trying to. Hi. I know. Hi. It's okay. It's okay. Toothless. See? In the second I stop moving, he just calms down. It takes time. It takes patience with him. So, just gotta let it be. Hello, man. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's okay. Oh, we had it. I had it right there. But I don't want to stress him out. I want him to understand that I am a friend. I am friend, not foe. Hi. It's okay. I'm trying to upgrade you. You gonna bite me? I'm gonna pick you up now. It's okay. It's okay. Now look away. It's okay. Hi. We're gonna relax. Relax. I promise you I am not hurting them. We're gonna just cover, just like a crocodilian, cover his head, he calms down. If you guys wanna see actually his underbelly, it's really pretty. The black dragon, their underbelly's really pretty with a different pattern. Each one is kind of different actually, almost like a fingerprint. Relax, it's okay. It's okay, I love you. And then over here, I have, hey, come here, it's okay. There we go. Let him calm down for a second. Let him calm down. Kind of lost grip for him for a second, but he's okay right now. He's gonna kind of realize that, okay, this is a home. This is my new home. Hi, bud. I promise you, I did not hurt him. He did not get hurt at all. I just waited for him to kind of tire down a little bit and then gently move him right to his enclosure. I think he'll like it. As you can definitely see, definitely an upgrade for him. He's gonna be growing a lot faster now that he's in this 40-gallon, but now that he's in here, I'm gonna go move his small enclosure that he used to be in off so I can move Ivory on there to set up his heating lamp. All right, now that I have Toothless's enclosure set up, I took Ivory off on top and I temporarily put him right on the side just for now until I get one of the reptile habitats set up for him. As you can see over here, what Arbok and Ghost is in, these are the reptile habitats that I will upgrade Ivory in eventually, which I'm actually honestly going to order right after this video. But I have a dome for him and a 125 watt heat bulb for Toothless. Now a lot of people don't know this, but with Asian water monitors, they need intense basking spots. Intense, like it's going to be pretty kind of hot. Not as badly as a bearded dragon's, but it's going to need some temperature to it. So with that being said, I actually figured this out, and I was actually told this by the owner's mom of the reptile store that I always go to, and they of course have Asian water monitors there. They have their own black dragon and other Asian water monitors, and so I was able to actually I was thankful enough and blessed enough to be able to sit there and talk to her about, you know, what would be good setups and stuff for these guys, and she said intense heat, they need it. So with that being said, I have Toothless's bulb right here. I'm praying to God it's 125 watt, so I'm gonna just gauge how it is for him, and the fact of if it's too hot for him. If so, then I'll just downgrade it to like a 75 intense. But if you guys haven't noticed, my boy Toothless is loving that bedding. He's making a mess of it. He's absolutely loving it. I can't wait. Now that he has that set up, I'm just excited. I can't wait for him to notice that he actually has a hammock on top of there for him to climb on top of. And I got him a UVB strip, which this has a 10.0 range, which is for desert, and the fact it's going to hit all the way at the bottom of the bedding for him. Now, for those of you who don't know this, or beginners I should say, people who are getting into having reptiles, a good tip when you have a lizard, it's not necessarily, it's not a necessity for snakes, depending on the species, as much as it is for lizards, but lizards need UVB light. There's two type of lightings for this. There's UVA, which is what's simulating the sun's heat, which is what that heat bulb is for. That's help with metabolism, so it helps him digest his food, helps give him energy and warmth. And this, UVB. UVB is basically a way for them to be able to have proper bone development. It helps take that. It's basically, they're kind of soaking in calcium. It's hard to explain it, but it's taking the calcium they eat and it's helping them with bone development so that they don't have MBD, which is metabolic bone disease. It's the deficiency in calcium that the bones lack, and it causes them to be deformed because they can't properly develop. These UVB strips help a lot. So those of you who are watching that might have, you can even do it for like ball pythons, but those of you who have bearded dragons, uromastics, all those lizards, smaller lizards that are going to be in enclosures like this, get one of these. I promise you, they're a little bit pricey, so what? It's worth it. Get one of these UVB strips. I promise you, it in the long run, it helps. Plus, it just looks nice. It looks nice in the fact that it covers practically the whole entire enclosure, and because of that, it brightens it up and makes it more visually aesthetic, pleasing. It looks nice. And with this, you guys might be wondering what's the difference between 10.0 and 5.0. 5.0 is for tropical, so the range is going to kind of stop like midway, strictly because it's more kind of like the tropical arboreal animals. 10.0 is kind of like desert, and the fact that range is going to hit all the way at the bottom here. So they're going to be getting the UVB that whole entire time. Now, right now, unfortunately, I don't have any outlets in the fact of having multiple extension cords, basically, or I'm brain farting on what they're called, but plug-ins for them. So because of that, I'm going to just sacrifice Mystique's here just for a day until I get it. UVB strip outlet for Toothless. So it's a little bit small-ish, but honestly, I don't care. It's fine. That will work. Yes, I know it's unbalanced. It's fine. So what I'll do is I'll just turn off Mystique's. Take this, unplug that just for now, and then we have right here, I'll plug this in and turn this on. Voila. He has UVB, which as you can see doesn't make a huge difference because of how bright this room is and how bright his basking bulb is, but this is going to help. This is definitely going to help both of them. And as you guys can see, You guys might not have seen it because he was doing it right when I was talking and kind of behind me, but he was swimming in his water. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade his water dish to where it's going to be a lot bigger. It's going to be basically a pool for him so that he can swim in there. It actually has a lot more space. It's going to be deeper. It's actually like this deep, so it's going to be covering like to the top of this enclosure. Hopefully it doesn't flood, but I can just space it out so it just absorbs into the bedding. But he loves the enclosure, as you can see, so Toothless is taken care of. That's one animal down. Now I'm going to be upgrading Mystique onto bedding, and same with the Crebo and these guys. So while he's sitting there enjoying his new enclosure, let's get on to the next animal. Alright, now is on to the Crebo. So this little guy here is the other new animal I got. He is a baby yellow-tailed Crebo, fresh out of shed actually. He just got done shedding. It wasn't, unfortunately, a whole shed, which I would have kept. It was broken up into like 4 pieces, so I just got rid of it. But he's out of shed, which is awesome because that is a huge, huge sign telling me that he is healthy and he's doing good. As you can see, he's just beautiful right now out of shed. He has that beautiful silver, just gray-white pattern. You can see shines right on the lighting of the reptile room. It's just amazing. You can see how just pretty it is with that silver white, and you can see now when these guys get older and bigger, their tail will become a lot more defined with those bright like almost goldish yellow color, hence the name yellow-tailed Crebo. But right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just holding him right now, just getting him a little bit used to me. As you can see, he's calmed down a lot more since the last video he was in. He's a lot more chill. So I'm actually going to be adding the forest floor bedding to his enclosure. Now the thing is that with yellow-tailed Crebos, if you look up what type of animal they are and the fact that it's tropical, like wetlands, the humid environments, dry environments, it does say a drier environment. Now the thing is this is a little bit of the exception I'm making with this, because usually I don't do this. I'm going to be putting forest floor bedding into his enclosure. Yes, it is kind of a wet, more humid bedding rather than using like aspen, which is kind of just naturally dry. Granted, the aspen would simulate the environment they would be in, but the reason why I'm putting forest floor bedding in his enclosure is strictly because it's a lot more smooth when it comes to animals going through it without getting stuck on them. And the fact that it's going to help with his shed. So when he is in shed, the thing is with aspen moss, a lot of my buddies have told me from experience in the past with their huge 40+ snake collection that with aspen moss wise, the thing is that even though it simulates that dry environment, it makes it really hard for the animal to shed, especially with snakes. And because of that, I don't want this little guy to have hard sheds, because then if he gets a stuck shed or stuck eye cap, I'm gonna have to sit here and pin his head down to get it off, which I don't want to do. So I'm gonna just make this an exception to put him on forest floor bedding. I'm not gonna sit here and mist it every single day, in the fact just so that it kind of doesn't give him that respiratory infection and stuff like that, since they're not necessarily used to it. But at the same time, the humidity and that will help with their shed, and it will help with hydration. So with that being said, I just realized that I need somewhere to put this little turd in. I did upgrade him. I did put him into Toothless's old enclosure, which is bigger than the one that he was previously in. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take him, I'm gonna put him, he's gonna be fine. I'm gonna put him just right in his old enclosure. This is the one that he was in. The one I'm putting him in is actually Toothless's enclosure that we just cleaned out, and that's because of the fact that that's actually bigger for him. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this bedding, and we're gonna do something very simple, really easy. We're gonna take this bedding and dump it into the enclosure. So, bada bing, bada boom. This is what we do. Dump, 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 shake, 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 and go take your body. Oh shit. Don't make a mess. Don't do what I just did. Let me just see how much that is. Fluff it around real quick, you know. Gotta make it a little nice. Fluffy. Fluffy enclosure. Now, I don't know if these guys like the burrow, so I'm not gonna add like super thick layers. with it like I do with Pickle my blue tongue, which they are terrestrial, so they like to grow. So we'll just add that. Honestly, there's not much left. Screw it. Put the rest of the bag in there. Now, for those of you who do watch, or are watching this video, I should say, and they do have the yellowtail cribos. I want this from people who do have the yellowtail cribos or have previously owned them. If you're watching this video, please comment down below some tips, whatever it is with taking care of these guys. I did do a lot of research on these animals before buying them, of course. I'm not going to make myself a hypocrite. But I did do my research with them. I've tried feeding him a couple of times. He seems to not necessarily like it. And the fact like he just is too wiry and moves around too much. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take him out, let him kind of chill out, be relaxed. And then I'm going to put him in a separate tow like I do with some of the ball pythons like Ghost and Ivory, and then try to see if he'll take food from me then when he chills out. But in this instance right now, I'm just kind of experimenting. Like again, he will be fine in this forest floor bedding. It's not going to harm him. It's not going to kill him. It's not going to make him sick. I promise you it won't. I would not be doing that to this animal if it was. Trust me, I wouldn't. With that being said, I'm going to upgrade his water dish later down on the road. Right now, this is perfect for him. It's perfect size because he can curl up into there. And we are running low on H2O. Just dump this right in here. Fill this up. Bam. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what we do. Alright. Now that he's there, I'm going to take him. Just look how pretty he is. He's such a gorgeous snake. Now his mom, the breeder, I still haven't added a picture. I probably should, but his mom, or I think this is a male. I believe this is a confirmed male. But either way, his mom is a huge, huge size. These guys will get up to 10 plus feet. And the mom, the female of this clutch, the clutch that he came from, God, I can't talk. It has a bright, I'm talking bright yellow tail, and it is so pretty. Literally the definition of yellowtail cribo. So I'm gonna just put little man right into his enclosure. Come on. There we go. Now with that being said, I'm gonna take little lid, let him get cozy into that, comfortable. Okay, that is not the right size of lid. It's over here. And then, as you can see, Toothless is loving his enclosure. As he's literally a mini turbo. That water dish is not going to stay clean longer than 5 seconds, which is fine by me because long as he's enjoying life, then I'm enjoying life. Now, where did I put his? Oh, it's right here. All right. So now that the cribo is set up, I'm gonna just put his heat bulb right back on top. This one. And this little guy, he's gonna get upgraded here soon too. Right now I'm just kind of thinking of, right now I just want him to eat. Right now, my number one priority is getting him to eat. Now that he is shed, he's probably hungry. So him eating is probably gonna be a high chance of it. But look at that. And actually, if you guys don't see it, he's actually burrowed right under the bedding. So I think they are terrestrial. I'm gonna take a guess on that they are. Granted, I sound bad sitting here saying I think that he's terrestrial or not, because I can't lie. I have some animals that think they're arboreal and they're not, and I have some animals that are arboreal but think they're not. So at this point, I'm just giving them a nice enclosure. What they do with it is what they do with it. That's all of them. But he's set up. He's enjoying life by the looks of it. He's gone under the bedding. So I'm happy that I did add a thick layer to that. So now that he's taken care of, on to Mystique. All right. Now we're on to my girl Mystique. We're going to clean her. Well, I already cleaned out her enclosure and everything. Now what you all been waiting for. We're gonna be adding bedding to this enclosure, and I'm gonna let y'all take a guess on what it is. It's forest floor. All right, so I'm gonna just add this in here, plain and simple. Just the same thing that I did with Toothless's enclosure. Is just open up a nice, easy, accessible hole at the top, and now we just dump. All right. Oh my God. I'm gonna just dump a decent amount in here. I said that's pretty good for right now. Take this bag, just put it right up on this chair, and then shake it like you mean it. Shake all this around, which, holy crap, your boy has outdone himself. Perfect amount. Nothing but the perfect. But that's actually, honestly, I'm genuinely surprised. This is a perfect amount of bedding for her, to where it covers the whole entire bottom and then some to give her a little bit extra space. And then what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna take her hides, I'm gonna add them back in here. Yes, I know that she needs something to kind of climb to give her some more enrichment, something just enriching to her. I am working on that. I am, like, again, the reptile store that I always go to. Fortunately, this time they didn't have the best variety of, I don't even know what it's called, pressure wood or whatever, like the stuff that's in Turbo's enclosure, the same stuff that's in there. I want to add into there so that she has something to climb, give her some exercise, just something to have fun in, you know, be a snake, do what snakes do. But they didn't have any at that moment, so with that being said, I'm just waiting a little while, and then I'll just put her water dish right here. Her water dish is still tiny, but like, again, it's working until I kind of get a better picture in my mind of what I want to do for her. Now, with that being said, we add more H2O. Nothing but the flesh. H2O, spring water. You should be giving nothing but the spring water to your pets. All your pets, not just reptiles, but your dog, your cat. All of them should be getting the freshest H2O. All right, now that that's filled and that's done, we're gonna put my girl Mystique back into her enclosure. If I can put this cap on. Are we gonna put the cap on? Frick that crap. Screw the cap. I'm gonna put her back in. It's gonna be a very dangerous snake, okay? It's gonna be very dangerous. You'll have to take it and grab it by the tip of the tail, you know? Just grab it from the midsection. You control the whole body. Look at that. Dangerous. So this one right here is, from what I was told when I got her, is a red tail boa. This is my girl Mystique. As you can see, she has gone a lot bigger. Super, super, super pretty. For those of you who've seen her when the day I got her, the video I made, she was like half of this size. So she's doing good. She's doing amazing. Just hike. I know you want to climb. I know. I gotta get her that stick. I would love to get her, but I'm waiting patiently until I see one that's actually really nice. So I'm gonna just put her right in there, and she blends in well with this bedding. So that's honestly a score as well. She blends in with the bedding, and as you can see, she wants to climb, but I'll get her that later. I promise. I'm getting to that. I promise you. It takes time. I'm being very patient with it. For those of you who just heard that plop, that was Turbo falling because she's a psycho. She likes to kamikaze off of her hammock and all of that. But if you guys get it up close right when I turn on this heat bulb for her, voila. If you guys get a nice close look, you can actually see how beautiful she looks. She blends perfectly in with the log and the bedding. It actually kind of complements her pattern, her colors. It's pretty. It's very pretty. And that's honestly a really nice shot right there. It's coming out good. Enclosure's looking good. So now that she's taken care of, I'm going to do a deep clean bedding change onto Turbo's enclosure real quick. Just changing out her bedding, which honestly will take like maybe 10 minutes, not even. But we're going to do her real quick because she's due for a bedding change. And that's my girl. Can't do my girl like that. We got to keep up and give her the freshest. As you can see, Toothless is over here Chicken, hi. Oh, I know. I'm sorry, bud. But he's over here. He's doing what water monitors do. He's enjoying life in the water. He forgot that he can also climb, and he doesn't realize that he can climb on top of that hammock. I promise you he can. He just hasn't figured that out yet. But let's get into Turbo. All right, ladies and gents, on to cleaning Turbo's enclosure, which I've already done for the most part. I took out all the bedding, her old bedding that's been in there for a pretty long time. It was getting gross, just in the fact of just older poops in that bed I wasn't able to clean, or that I've spotted because she does dig and move the bedding around. With that being said, I dumped everything out, baby wiped the bottom of the enclosure. Now, yes, you will probably see that the sides of the enclosure and the hammock and that and the hides I put in do need to get cleaned. I am going to clean that. I'm going to just do it off camera strictly for the fact that this video has already been pretty freaking long. And your boy's tired and wants to go eat dinner and go to bed. So with that being said, we can go and finish up this enclosure nice and good for the girl. So I'm going to dump some more like that. And make a mess while you're at it. Why not? We're just going to clean it up later, right? So, going to have some fun. Alright, so that's filled. Yeah, that's probably not going to be enough, so hopefully I got another bag of this. So what we do with this, we take this. I'm going to take this, right? And we're going to chuck it at the camera woman. Alright, now that that's done, I'm going to shake it up. You already know we're going to fluff this up so this looks nice and good. Nice and pearly for my girl, because I love her. As you can see, that is not enough. So, hopefully, I thought I had bought enough, but I can't lie. I got lucky, and I totally forgot, but I have this. So we didn't have one, we didn't have two, but we have three. And guess what bedding it is? Forest floor bedding. So, we're going to use it. We're going to take a hold of it. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. If you don't worry about it. Tear a hole, put the top, and shake it. Shake that one. Alright, that's probably enough. Oh shoot. Make a mess. You know, why not? It's fun. If you try it. Fluff it. Fluffy, fluffy, fluff. Fluff, 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 fluff. Fluff, 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 fluff. Now, I am contemplating about just saying screw it and dumping this whole bag in there. I don't know what I'm going to do with this whole bag, because it's still half a bag, and honestly, that's enough bedding. Screw it. We're going to add some more. Have fun with it. Gotta be a little aggressive with it, you know? Yeah. Give it a good smack, you know? We're gonna fluff it. Alright. There. That is definitely enough bedding. That's a lot of bedding. It's gonna come back to bite me in the butt when it comes to cleaning because it's a lot, but who cares? Mangrove monitors, they are terrestrial, so they do burrow. Trust me, they do. I've watched the videos, I've looked it up, talked to people who own mangrove monitors and breed them. They burrow, so they are semi-terrestrial. They are semi-aquatic, of course, mangrove monitor being the mangroves, they do swim, and semi-arboreal, so they do climb. With that being said, I want to simulate all three things for her, so it's fully enriching, and because of that, when I get the chance to, the money, because honest, I have the money, and I just right now am looking at the right enclosure, because right now I'm not really seeing anything that really intrigues my interest for her, because I love that lizard. Turbo was my first ever monitor lizard, so I ain't going to do her dirty like that. So I'm just right now patiently waiting because I want to get something wider so I can incorporate the actual swimming aspect for that, while at the same time having the thick bedding for burrowing, and of course with the trees, the trunks in here, she has the whole enrichment of being able to climb, bask. It's adding all those simulations in there for her. So that being said, we're gonna put the hides in here because I've talked enough. This video's pretty freaking long as it is. But I hope you guys are enjoying it because this reptile room is coming along. Working on it, like again, one step at a time. We're gonna add some H2O to this. Ain't nothing but the best H2O. Add it right in here for her. Like again, just like with Toothless, I promise you I change and clean her water. It's just the fact this just won't last long for longer than 5 seconds before she spills it and makes it dirty. Can't lie, your boy kind of lost the cap from tossing it somewhere. Can't find where the cap is at this current moment, but we'll find it later. Just ain't right now a now current moment problem. We're gonna add these tree trunks in now. You know what I'm saying? Alright. I'm gonna add it right, kinda wanna add it right under her hammock. There we go. Voila! Easy. And yes, her enclosure is on the floor. Yes, it's kind of right in the middle of the reptile room. But right now, right now, it works. Until I can get her up onto the wall and set up and elevate it off to where she has it nice and it looks like a nice, pleasing display. But right now, this is working for her. She loves it. She's healthy. She's happy with it. So that's all that matters. Animal, like I said, animals healthy, safe, and happy, then I'm happy. That's all that matters. Now, we're gonna get her. We're gonna get her. Hi, sweetheart. This is just a little enclosure for her to just be in until I get her out. Or hold her in, I should say, until I'm finished. Hi, sweetheart. And then this is Turbo, my beautiful mangrove monitor lizard, native all throughout Asia, actually found in Thailand as well, just like the Asian water monitors. And they're even found in mangroves that are known to be native and seeing sightings of saltwater crocodiles. So they live in the same exact type of environment and even in some of the same mangroves as saltwater crocodiles, which are the biggest crocodilian species in areas of Asia. So really, really cool species. She was my first ever monitor lizard to have. I had her since she was literally, her whole entire body was only the length of her tail, if that. So she was tiny. She was a tiny little girl. And voila, she's enjoying it. I'm gonna let her bask. Enjoy that. Hi. Give her some nice little peace. Get this dirt off. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, I know. Hi. Hi. She thinks I'm feeding her. Usually right before I feed her, I'll open up the enclosure and do a little bit of a popcorn calling so she knows it's time to feed. I've been starting to work with her on that, but she thinks I was going to take her out because that's usually how I kind of get her to start being more curious, socializing. But that concludes the rest of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, please drop a like, subscribe, comment what you guys think of the reptile room, how it's coming along, what you guys think, if it's looking good, and the fact, setting it up, doing the animals right. Just comment what you guys think, how the enclosures look. Toothless is freaking enjoying it. He's being a spider lizard. As you guys can see, he gets that from Turbo. So he's loving life, living life to the fullest. Oh, plop. He plopped right in his water, so I promise you he's fine. But that's going to conclude. I hope you guys enjoyed. Your boy is freaking tired. If you haven't already, if you want to see some extra content or other stuff, go check out my Instagram, Mal Ninja, same as my YouTube. But it is 9 o'clock at night. Your boy is tired and wants to eat dinner. He's been in the reptile room for 3 hours, sweating and working and doing stuff. But I'm not one to complain because I absolutely love these animals. And I just thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for the next one.